So acids are going to begin with H. So if a compound starts with hydrogen, we're going to name it as an acid. The rules for naming acids are these three. If it ended in IDE, we're going to change it to hydroic acid. If the anion ended in ATE, it's going to go to ic acid. And if the anion ended in ITE, it's going to go to OUS acid. So what does that mean? So once you realize that it's an acid, because it starts with H, you're going to look at the second piece, the anion. SO4 from our polyatomic ion list is this one, sulfate. So sulfate, according to our rules, ATE should go to ic acid. So that's going to be sulfuric acid. A couple of them have name changes. Like if you just dropped the 8, you would have had sulfic acid. So it actually changes to sulfuric acid. But if you put sulfic acid on a test or a quiz, then that would be fine as well. You'll eventually start seeing the ones that change. The next one, we know it's acid because it starts with hydrogen. So we look at the second piece, S, is sulfide in a compound. Sulfide. IDE is going to go to hydroic acid. So we have to put hydro in front of this one. Hydro does not mean acid. The word acid at the end does. So hydro only goes in front if it ended in IDE. So hydrosulfuric acid. The only way it will have hydro is if it ended in IDE. IDE are for our elements. And remember, there were the two polyatomic ions that ended in IDE. Hydroxide, which you wouldn't have as a acid, and cyanide. So cyanide's really the only one that's a polyatomic ion that can have hydro in front. All other times, if it's a polyatomic ion, it should not have hydro in front. So go ahead and pause the video and try these first two on your own. Restart when you finish the first two. So SO3 was sulfite. So sulfite goes to sulfurious acid. Fluoride goes to hydrofluoric acid. Go ahead and pause the video and do the next two on your own. Restart when you finish those two. PO4 is phosphate. Phosphate goes to phosphoric acid. There's only 3 hydrogens in front because phosphate is a -3 charge. So whatever the anion is, that's how many hydrogens get put in front. So phosphate, phosphoric acid. That's another one that has one of those weird changes at the end. NO2 was nitrite. Nitrite goes to nitrous acid. And then the last one, go ahead and pause the video and solve that one. Restart when you have it. Iodine is iodide in a compound. So that's hydroiodic acid. So when writing our formulas, the first thing we do is say, oh, it's an acid. If it's an acid, it should start with hydrogen ion. Then we go backwards. Hydro and ic came from IDE. So I'm going to drop those and put IDE there. So chloride. Chloride was Cl with a -1 charge from the periodic table. Well, those cancel, so it's just going to be HCl. One more, if it was ic acid, well, I know it starts with hydrogen, and then ic came from 8. So sulfate was SO4 with a -2 charge. So I need 2 hydrogens in front to cancel out a -2. Go ahead and pause the video and do the last 3 on your own. Restart when you are done. So chromic came from chromate. Chromate is CrO4, -2. So I need 2 hydrogens in front to cancel it out. One of the more common mistakes is people just writing this as the answer. Remember, your formula should never have a charge. We need the hydrogens because it's an acid. Hydrocyanic acid, drop those. That came from cyanide. Cyanide was Cn with a negative. So you just needed 1 hydrogen in front to cancel it. And nitrous came from nitrite. Nitrite is NO2 with a -1. So we need 1 hydrogen in front. So this last page is a naming flowchart. So when naming a compound, the first thing you have to ask yourself is, does it start with a metal, a nonmetal, or hydrogen? If it starts with a hydrogen, it's an acid, and so you're going to use your acid rules. If it starts with a nonmetal, it's a molecular/covalent compound, so you're going to use prefixes. And if it's a metal, you further ask yourself, does it have 1 charge, or do I need to use Roman numerals to indicate the charge? So every time you're naming, make sure you're asking yourself, does it start with hydrogen? Does it start with a nonmetal? Or does it start with a metal?